Hello, good morning. It's so wonderful to have everyone here for the World Lawyers Forum and the IIPLA. My name is Samir Samal. I'm the CEO of Blue Ocean Global Technology, and for better or worse, one of your distinguished hosts. How many people here are from the Middle East? All right, nice to have that. How many people traveled here from Africa? Okay, good amount of hands. North America? Okay, see a few friends here. And Europe? Anytime you come to a conference, it represents an incredible opportunity to learn, foster relationships, and one conversation, one new relationship can change the course of your life. As someone who's been privileged to speak and share information at conferences all over the world, I'm delighted to be here and to make new friends. How many people came here to learn? I think there's going to be plenty of that. How many people came here to find new business partners and clients? Absolutely. So we'll try to make sure that we check all of those boxes. And without further ado, I think I'll turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies, Azam.
Thank you so much, Samir. Good morning, my dear patrons of the World Lawyers Forum and the International Intellectual Property Law Association. What a lovely occasion it is to gather under one roof year after year to make it a silver jubilee, the 25th meeting for the IIPLA. And the 19th meeting for the World Lawyers Forum, or the WLF as you call it. Thanks for this as well. I'm totally indebted to our attendees and WLF and IIPLA team for this wonderful journey. On behalf of the World Lawyers Forum and IIPLA, I would like to thank everyone present here for supporting us and being here to make it another successful year for WLF and IIPLA. We welcome our eminent speakers, marvelous delegates, and close to our heart sponsors. They're closer because of the money as well, of course. Thank you. Thank you. A special thanks to our sponsors, Mindsoft, Emirates IP Services, Safe Names Limited, Inlex IP, Moray, Lex Ally Global FZZ LLC, LexLegis.ai, Mentaso IP, IP docketers, and patent drawing experts. We have been very fortunate that we receive continuous love from a legal community. Last year in Barcelona, we were recognized by the Emirates IP Association. They recognized our efforts by presenting a token of appreciation in Barcelona, thanks to Emirates IP Association. And I can guarantee that no other conference gets such immense love and recognition as WLF and IIPLA get. We were further recognized by the government of Bahrain, and they invited us to organize a conference in Bahrain. It was an open arms invitation, which we happily accepted. And Win Legal, a law firm based in London, especially liaised with the government of Bahrain and arranged the most luxurious venue in Bahrain, the Royal Surrey Resort, for the World Lawyers Forum in Bahrain. Thanks to both of them. After such a wonderful love and recognition from the legal community, it is a duty to recognize all the exceptional and respectable lawyers worldwide. In our Bahrain event, we are organizing WLF Legal Awards to pay the due respect to our legal community. I personally invite all of you to Bahrain as well. You're wonderful, and thank you for making Dubai's event a great success. So the next 2 days are going to be great. I urge you to make full use of these 2 days. Maximize your interaction, maximize your networking, and maximize your ROI of the time being invested in the next 2 days. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Samir, here, go back. Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce the next session. Anytime you come to a conference, you always want to make sure that it's a memorable experience. So, we have a few surprises here today. Before we announce the next session, I have a little bit of a trivia, okay? Does anybody know who said the line? A famous lawyer. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Any guesses? Think of a famous lawyer. Yes, sir.
I'm going to guess because I was at the one in Barcelona. It was Abraham Lincoln.
This guy right here. Will you get the first prize? All right, come on up. Grab it from that bag. Now, sometimes when you have these prizes, you know, are we giving away a sponsored T-shirt? What are we giving away here?
A lucky bag.
Yeah.
No. Hold this for a second. Come on the stage. Since we're representing the United States, since I flew there, so I'm Indian American in the US, but just American when I go to India, we got a Derek Jeter jersey for you. All right? Here we go.
Thanks for that. I pretend I know who that is.
And, you know, we didn't get you Beckham, but we got you.
Thanks, Samir.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, folks, without further ado, so now you guys are thinking, I got to pay attention. I got to make sure I participate in these questions. The first session is global legal trends and their impact on lawyers. Distinguished panelists, do you want to announce them? Mr. Obaid Saeed Bin? Yes, sir, please. Mr. Sahar Hasan? Miss. Ahmed Hussein? Yes, sir, please. Do we have our other panelists? And our moderator, Mohammad? Where is he?
Yes.
Here he is. Here you go, sir.
Thanks. Thank you. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
تفضل. صح. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammad Abandah, and I'm very happy to moderate the first session for two reasons. One, because it's very interesting topic. I would love to hear from our experts. And two, because I have a very distinguished speakers and panelists. I will introduce them, but first of all, the theme of this session is the main trends or the major things that lawyers might be impacted by in the legal fields, be it sanction, be it AI, technology, cybersecurity, data privacy, anything that is really keeping the lawyers busy and focusing, and keeping the law firms also happy by receiving the questions from the in-house counsel. So without delay, I would love to introduce our panel. First, we have Sahar Saeed. Sahar, Managing Director. Sahar is Senior Manager, Quality Risk and Security, UAE, specialized in commercial law and contract management. She's with 10 years of international experience and worked in multiple fields: oil, energy, defense, IT, transport, etc. I will not go through the full CV because every one of them really has a very lovely experience. You can review it through the materials. Second, Mr. Obaid Saeed Bin Mes'har, Managing Director, Winjustice UAE, with over than 26 years of experience in telecommunication management and more than 15 years specialized in dispute resolution and financial claims. We have another speaker. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it this morning, but the lovely fourth speaker is Mr. Ahmed Dikri, Regional Head of Legal, Bank Mansur, with experience, an experienced legal manager with demonstrated history working in banking industry. Before we go through the normal panel discussion Q&A, Mr. Obaid will go through a quick presentation about his company and his business, and later on he will join us in the Q&A session. Please, Mr. Obaid.
No, it's okay. Good morning, distinguished guests, fellow legal professionals, and esteemed members of the World Lawyers Forum 2025. Do you hear me clear? It's an honor to address this gathering today of brilliant minds from the legal community. I'm Obaid Saeed Bin Mes'har, Managing Director of Winjustice Litigation Funding. It is a privilege to share insights on the subject that is reshaping the legal landscape globally and in the region. Litigation funding and its impact on businesses. Let me begin briefly with as Mohammed just gave a little brief of my background. Yes, over a course of more than 4 decades, actually, I have the privilege of wearing multiple hats, like strategic leader, esteemed negotiator, and legal experts. So I was heading the telecommunication UAE for the last 26 years. And the last 15 years, actually, I was in the ADR business, arbitration, mediation, and legal representations. So I contributed a lot in the legal system, actually. However, I don't want to go more in my background, professional. Also, I am holding a finance and legal Bachelor of Law, as well as an MBA from University of Minnesota. My aim has always been to bridge a gap between the legal knowledge and strategic implementation. These experiences, coupled with my certification as a fellow CRB in the UK. Today, I stand before you not only as a practitioner, but also as an advocate for innovating in the legal landscape. One of the most transformative developments I have witnessed in litigation funding. It is a powerful tool that is reshaping access to justice. This innovation is also leveling the playing field for individuals and businesses alike. As we explore this subject together, I aim to shed light on the essence of litigation funding, its historical evolution, and its profound implication of the UAE unique legal environment. Let us also discuss how this pioneering model championed the firms like us can unlock new opportunities for businesses. It ensures that justice is both accessible and equitable. Well, while getting into the background, I don't want to go next slide, please. From here? Okay.
So this is forward and this is back.
Okay, thank you. So let's first understand what is litigation funding. So litigation funding, also known as legal financing or third-party funding, is a transformative financial arrangement. It allows litigants to pursue legal claims without bearing a burden of upfront litigation costs. Under this model, a third-party funder provides financial resources to cover legal fees and expenses. In return, the funder receives a share for the potential settlement or judgment if the case is successful. This arrangement ensures that individuals and businesses can pursue justice without being hindered by financial constraint. Some of the key features litigation funding are alike. There are no upfront costs. The funder covers all the legal expenses, allowing the claimant to focus on the case without financial stress. Also, it's a non-recourse funding. That means if the case is unsuccessful, the claimant is not obligated to repay the funding, making it a risk-free option for the litigant. You get also, or the litigant gets a free consultation, expert support. Litigation funders often provide strategic guidance, helping claimants strengthen their case and navigate complex legal proceedings. If we talk about its global evolution, the litigation funding started in Australia in 1990s, then followed by the UK in 2000, and in the mid of 2000 also the United States introduces the litigation funding. I don't want to go into much details on these. If we talk about the UAE market, in the UAE, litigation funding is an emerging yet rapidly evolving concept. The country's dual legal framework, comprising onshore courts governed by federal law and offshore jurisdictions such as DIFC and ADGM, which is Abu Dhabi Global Market, which operates under common law, offers fertile ground for litigation funding to thrive, while onshore courts require careful navigation due to the lack of explicit regulations and laws. As the first litigation funder in the UAE, we are proud to bridge the gap, making justice accessible across both onshore and offshore jurisdictions by bridging the financial gap. Winjustice has emerged as a pivotal force in empowering businesses and individuals across the UAE to navigate the complexity of legal disputes without the fear of financial ruin. As the first dedicated litigation funding firm in the region, Winjustice combined deep experience with innovative solutions to level the playing field, allowing claimants, be it small businesses or big-sized companies or individual litigants, to stand their ground against well-resourced adversaries. Through tailored funding arrangement, strategic legal partnership, and an unwavering commitment to ethical practices, Winjustice ensures that justice is accessible to everyone, irrespective of their financial capacity, by alleviating the financial burden of litigation and arbitration. The firm enables clients focus on achieving favorable outcomes without compromising their core operations or personal finance. Moreover, it focused on transparency and compliance within the UAE unique dual legal framework, spanning both onshore and offshore jurisdictions, set Winjustice apart as a trusted ally in the pursuit of justice. So now, let me dive into the major impact and benefits of litigation funding for UAE businesses. Litigation funding is a game changer. It's set to revolutionize how businesses in the UAE handle legal challenges, especially in critical industries like construction, real estate, finance, etc. So clients will have access to justice, risk mitigation, leveling the playing field, as well as enhancing navigation power. So I'm trying to skip some just to save time for discussions. And most impactful, actually, there is no financial risk for the claimants. Ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity to explain why Winjustice is a part of this ultimate partner to litigation funding in the UAE. First, the value that we add to our clients is our expert guidance. Also, it's a customer solution case-to-case basis. There is no one fits for all, so we have to customize that contract with the client. Our highest level of ethical transparency is important, and it's a requirement of, especially of offshore courts like ADGM and DIFC, require disclosure of such services. As we conclude, it's clear that litigation funding is not just an emerging trend. It's a revolutionary shift in the way businesses approach legal challenges in a rapidly evolving legal landscape. When funding is not concerned, businesses gain confidence at the negotiation table. They can hold their ground and negotiate from a position of strength, knowing they have the resources to see their case through if necessary. So there is no financial risk as well. So here is the best part of it. For businesses in sectors like construction, real estate, finance, and beyond, litigation is a game changer. It brings the gap between legal access and financial resources. At litigation funding, we evolve with remain trusted, a lay of business looking at unlock new opportunity and access justice with confidence. Thank you all for your time and attention today. It has been an honor to share insights briefly on litigation funding and its impact on business in the UAE. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the organizer of the World Lawyers Forum for providing this platform to discuss such a critical topic. Your efforts in bringing together leaders, innovators, and experts from around the world are truly commendable. We appreciate the opportunity to be part of this opportunity. Thank you once again, and I look forward to continuing the dialogue with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obaid. That's really very insightful, and this is definitely a trend. We are discussing the trends that impacting legal and lawyers, and this is definitely one of the trends that if we have the time, we will discuss further. But I don't think anyone is not thinking of AI technology, be it in the legal field or outside the legal field. And this should be or could be one of the most important trends that we have to discuss and focus today. And I will start with a very general question. Sahar, maybe for you, what do you think? What trends or impact could be the technology, AI, maybe cybersecurity, on the lawyers and the legal community, and the trends that did not exist 10 years maybe back, and now it's becoming very important for each and every lawyer?
Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, certainly AI is on the forefront these days. I don't think anybody has in this room hasn't already interacted with some sort of artificial intelligence. But as in-house legal counsel and as lawyers, certainly I think there is absolutely no way we cannot work. We need to embrace AI. But as lawyers, when we try to harness the power of AI, I find a lot of challenges when it comes to embracing AI, such as you already mentioned, data privacy, number one, data breaches, cybersecurity, and also, in fact, training my key business stakeholders when it comes to using artificial intelligence. It's so simple nowadays to just type in anything in, for example, ChatGPT and have multiple answers. But how do we actually verify the integrity of the data that we are receiving, and how do we actually train business in terms of what sort of data they should be implementing? So just to give you an example, I've recently joined Deloitte, and before that I was working in Australia for the government, and we actually don't use ChatGPT. We have a separate AI software called PairD, which is it's catered for Deloitte business. I work in the technology and transformation business unit. It's encrypted. So whatever data we are, inputting, there are strict regulations, number one, around it. But also in terms of what it gives us is very company focused. So that's one way of, securing our data. But when I think AI for lawyers, I think sometimes, I'm talking about an old school approach. It is important, but it is hard in terms of integrating it into our, existing systems and our existing workflows. So that's, one of the challenges, or sort of, a range of challenges that I think of. But I also think that to resolve this, I feel, I really firmly actually believe that lawyers need to be tech savvy as well and work with maybe AI developers or software developers to try and understand the integrity of the data that they're using to ensure fairness, for example, and non-bias towards what we are actually getting. So yes, that's the foremost that I think of.
Thank you. Ahmed, maybe the same question coming from the financial services and the banking industry. What do you think about technology, AI, digital? I am sure that it's much more than other industries. We see lots of AI technology within the financial services. But what's your views on this particular topic?
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Actually, first of all, I would like to compliment what Sahar said. I don't know whether all of you know the famous case in USA, where one of the lawyers has submitted a memo to the court with the president, where the court has figured out that the case has not been existed. So the lawyer was under investigation. And in the investigation, they figured out that the lawyer got the case from AI. So AI has created a case which does not exist, and has been presented to the court for a real case. Then the lawyer was under investigation. So AI is very dangerous when you use it without thinking or verification. So AI is helpful in a way of how to use it. For example, I'll give you some numbers about AI. Last year in the UK, lawyers start using AI, like 70% of the lawyers using AI, comparing with 40% for the year before. So in addition, law firms right now are using AI for billing hours processing by 75%. So it will reduce and it can help lawyers in reducing some admin stuff, but when it comes to legal stuff, it's very dangerous. It's risky. Let's say it's very risky in a way of how to use it. In addition to that, I would like to talk about one of the trends now in the legal field, which is in financial institution, which is mediation. All of us are dealing in many cases for arbitration and normal dispute. But what I can see right now and what is going forward as a trend, which is mediation. Mediation is one of the solutions where both parties will be winners. No one of them will lose. Also, for some statistics, last year there was around 7,300 case has been assigned to mediation, where 7,100 cases has been sorted out by mediation for family disputes worldwide. This is a very big number because in mediation you will reach a conclusion with both parties by signing an agreement that both parties will agree on it. So no one of them will be in a risk of losing the case, comparing to, for example, arbitration. All of us used to hear the word arbitration and mediation, but now we are keep referring to arbitration in all agreements, all contracts, in the courts and in the normal life. But mediation does not have that trend. But in the future, I think one of the trendy legal aspects will be mediation.
And I'm sure everybody in this room understands and knows what's mediation. But just remind me in 2 lines, what's mediation?
Yeah. Mediation, actually, not all of mediators are lawyers. This is the difference. Mediation, it's the person who can work with both parties as their own lawyers for each one of them. Mediation is the one who knows the knowledge very well and the business oriented as well, in order to reach a solution that both parties will be happy by signing this agreement or this mediation. Mediation, when you compare it with arbitration, for example, because both words are always together, arbitration, one of the parties will lose. And in arbitration, the loser will lose a lot. Not something small. But in mediation, both parties will win. Win-win situation. Now also in mediation, it's very simple to be a mediator. In a word of mediator, you just need to have a course, a specialized course for 5 days. Then you will be a certified mediator. But how to be a good mediator, you have to do a lot in order to reach such position. Also, mediator has different segments. You cannot be mediator for everything. You have to be specialized either in finance, manufacture, whatever.
Sir Obaid, linking all this with your expertise in the litigation financing, do you also see in arbitration or mediation, do you finance this? And to link it to our previous question, the technology, this is for Mr. Obaid, the AI and technology in your sector, how do you see it?
Yeah. Actually, as I am telecom background, I love going for AI. We should take it as an opportunity rather than take it as a threat. And actually, it's being used in the market today. Yes, you might get 60 to 70% faster than what if you're going to do it in a week time. You can get a statement or a defense statement drafted in seconds rather than waiting for a week. You might correct it. I'm not saying that will be 100% correct, but at least you will save 1 week to prepare a statement or a defense statement. So I think we should not take it just raising a question of it is a threat. It's not a threat. It is. I'm personally taking it as an opportunity. I'm saving a lot of money, a lot of cost, and everybody, I think, is going to have the same saving. And this actually technology is affecting all sectors. It's nothing to do with the lawyer, particularly for lawyers only. So I think that is the future, and whether we like it or not. So definitely we are old ages or old people, maybe we don't like it. But the new generation, even schools, at the secondary school now, today they are playing and they're getting their homework done on AI. So I think we should not just ignore this technology. And we should develop ourselves, we should train our people, and those who cannot train themselves, I think the time is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe shifting to another topic, and if we can say it's another trend within the legal community, which is maybe the international cross-border issues,
Sure.
relationships, maybe geopolitical issues that we are seeing in this region more than other regions. I will also ask this question for Ahmed, but from an international sanction perspective. So, Sahar, I'll start with you about the geopolitical and cross-border relationships.
Yeah, no, sure. So a couple of things that come to my mind, and as we were also discussing earlier. So key global trend, I think, post-pandemic, I think a lot of lawyers have, faced all the force majeure clauses pretty much got opened up in all the contracts. So and moving forward, we are all very keen on having robust clauses on any sort of supply chain disruptions, liquidated damages, capping those LDs as well, and mitigation measures such as really prior involvement with our stakeholders and our business partners. So that's one that comes to my mind. But since we are in the Middle East, so the Middle East is riddled really with complex, geopolitical complexities, and it's unfortunately a conflict region as well. So for lawyers, it's really, really important to make sure that they work closely with their procurement partners, for example, in terms of ensuring that businesses do not get affected with what's happening generally in the region as well. And finally, just in terms of there's a lot of global interdependence on each other now, as we know. And I'm going to give the mic to you, Ahmed, now. But in terms of sanctions and embargoes, that's also very relevant to the Middle East. And in terms of technical data exchange, since we are talking about AI and technology, that is another thing that I've in my line of work seen. For example, ITAR and ER, if depending on what sort of industry specifications you're working on, which is really US set of legislations which regulate military and defense as well as technical data, and that sort of exchange between countries really needs to be monitored and regulated closely as well. So I don't know if you want to add something further to this. But yeah.
Thank you, Sahar. When we talk about sanctions and cross-border transaction for financial institutions, actually we are coming to an area where banks now are working very carefully in order to mitigate dealing with any sanctioned customer, in order to avoid any penalties or whatever can affect that institution from OFAC perspective or whatever international organization. Because as you know now, the world becomes like in a heat. There is war everywhere. There is sanction list update every month. So from banking and the financial institution, we have to be updated on a daily basis, frankly speaking, on a daily basis. We are screening our clients in order to ensure none of them are sanctions, none of them are under any international penalties or sanction or affected by any of whatever happening in the world. This also, for example, supported by not AI, but like the global trends right now, and we hope that all of our clients will be out of that.
Hopefully. So look, I will stay with you, Ahmed, and the question is, again, as a financial institution, as a bank, you are heavily regulated with lots of reporting, ESG, sustainability, etc. So all kind of reporting and regulatory requirements. Corporate governance is coming very strong to this region. So how do you handle this? And do you see it as a trend for the in-house counsel or the GC to be up to the speed with these reporting requirements? And how do you handle that?
Actually, the solution is the technology. Now we are not working like before. It's not waiting for reports and reviewing it and whatever. No. Now we are dealing with systems right now. We are dealing with like counterparties who are supporting us in a way that we have to get like reports in a specific format, highlighting risk in also specific forms or emails in order to mitigate and to be aligned with all such regulators. Because it's not only one or two or three. And if you fail in one of them, you will not have any excuse to state that I am aligned with other regulators. So the solution and the buzzword of that is technology and using the latest technology even in the legal sector. Like now, for example, there is a solution called Lexior, where we are using in the legal department, which manage like the daily litigation, contracts, legal opinions in-house and then out from external as well. So technology is the solution.
Okay. Mr. Obaid, maybe we are about time, so the last question before we open for the audience questions is for you. With your experience, you have went to a very innovative and trend in the law industry, in the legal industry. So what advice do you give the audience and everybody how to cope and to be up to the speed with legal trends?
Actually, technology is using technology and AI is very important. Cooperating with other partners in the other region, like outside the border of UAE, you cannot work alone. So you have to cooperate with a law firm or a partner in the other countries. Otherwise, you will not succeed, especially if you have a case and a partner is from other countries. You need to execute that case. You cannot do it because you are within UAE. So you need to have some cooperation with other law firms. So that relationship is very important to have. So nowadays you cannot work alone. So you have to cooperate and partner with somebody outside your border. So that is very important. Of course, technology, AI, you can retrieve a lot of information, get a lot of information, but you cannot execute. Technology cannot execute for you. You have to partner with somebody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will open the floor for any questions from the audience and for anyone of the panel, including myself, please. Is there anyone to help with the mics for the audience?
Hi. Just wanted your thoughts on litigation funding and if you consider there's any conflict of interest, especially in mediation and settlements. The reason I ask, from experience, I've had mediations failed because the amount being offered by the other party was too low once the litigation funder took their percentage out of it. So what are your thoughts in relation to that?
Actually, in mediation, we don't fund for mediation. Mediation usually, as Ahmed just explained, it's a mediator between two disputed parties trying to solve the case amicably between them and try to reach to a win-win situation. So usually we don't fund a mediation, actually. We fund arbitration because arbitration is very costly, especially in UAE or in this part of the world. It's very costly. So that's where the client wants you. Otherwise, why to pay 30 to 40% of his case to fund them for mediation? So more important is the arbitration where we can do litigation funding. But for mediation, nobody will come to or will accept even to fund it because there is not actually the mediator either will be appointed by the court or he will be a private mediator where he will get his fees based on the agreement with the party either on a win-win situation, or he might not get, if like me, I used to work on success only. I don't take money from people. So in this case, people will come to you because you don't take money from them unless you succeed in your case.
That presupposes, though, that there's no mediation within arbitration proceedings or court proceedings, which is, that happened, especially court proceedings, where it was in the UK, where it was mandated but encouraged. So there could be a mediation within proceedings that's been funded by a litigation funder, and offer has been made by the other side. So they've incurred costs through the litigation funder, and then that offer has to be taken into context of what percentage a funder or third party or ATE insurer.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. Yes, that depends on your contract with the litigant. You might mention, because sometimes also the litigant in between, he might reach to a settlement with the other party. So your agreement has to be clear, otherwise you might lose your fees. Because in your contract has to be clear. If the client, the litigant whom you are funding, he reached to an agreement before we complete the arbitration case or before the final judgment, that means we have to agree on certain fees. Otherwise, he might say, no, I sorted out the case with the other party, so I don't need you. I already spent money on that. So these things are important. And your contract has to be clear from day one, otherwise you will end up with a dispute with your client whom you are funding. Thank you.
Maybe the
We have
gentleman
one
in
more
the-
question.
Hello, my name is Justice Retired Farooq Khan. I have been a judge of the High Court for 10 years. So hundreds of cases have come through me where arbitration was required. So I just want to give one clarification that the main difference between arbitration and mediation is that mediation is with agreement of the parties. So it's voluntary. So it may not be or with the direction of the court. While arbitration is the parties agree in their contractual relationship that before going to a court, they would try to refer it to arbitration. And this is generally done by an order of the court. So that arbitration award becomes an order of the court. Hence the high cost that is involved, because lawyers are on the both sides trying to get an award in their favor. So having said that, I would come to the regulatory regime that is now in place, especially with reference to the Middle Eastern sanctions, in not Middle East, but all over the world. The problem is that the regulator and the governments which are issuing these sanctions, they keep on changing according to the environment. For example, in this region now, the environment has changed with reference to Syria, for example. It was a very heavily sanctioned country, but the institutions are not up to speed with that, you see. So if now some of our clients are undertaking transactions, which is subsequent to the development of a change of government and peace process that is going on over there, the banks don't understand that, you see. They are not up to speed. So there has to be a synchronization between the financial institutions and the regulator for updating the mindset, updating the knowledge, and updating the information regarding these sanctions. Generally, these sanctions are a pain in doing the world business. You see, they are not required. They are against human, the humanity, a lot of them, and they make they make people suffer. Although there may be political aims, but there is a humanitarian aspect which causes a tremendous amount of suffering to people because of these sanctions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Do we
One
have
last
any other question?
maybe.
Yeah.
So any question from the audience side?
All right.
Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate my great speakers, very insightful, and I have enjoyed and learned a lot from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of WLF, I would now request our moderator, Mohammad Abandah, to kindly honor our panelists with a memento as a gesture of gratitude. Yeah. Thank you for such a dynamic session, such an eye-opening session.